All plus-size passengers should be provided with an additional seat or 2 or 3 depending on their size.
Travel might look a little different for us plus-size folks, but it's still possible. The airlines should do a better job accommodating us, but until then, I'll keep shouting my message from the rooftops. You deserve to travel just as much as anyone else.
Hey beautiful people, how you are doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome back to my channel. It's Saturday here and we're just chilling, okay? So let's just get into today's video. Today's video is a video of a lady who came on the internet and I feel like our content is about being a plus side and traveling, and this lady decided to enlighten people about the airline and their seat and saying that the airline needs to compensate plus size people for their seat, like giving a plus size person 3 seats for free, not them buying and all that. She has a whole petition sign, and guys, I need you guys to just see these videos and then we'll talk.
Have you heard stories of plus-size travelers being ridiculed, humiliated, or even removed from flights because of their size? It's a common fear among the plus-size community, and it's absolutely unacceptable. Join my petition calling on the FAA to require all airlines to have a written official customer of size policy for plus-size travelers. This policy will provide accessible additional seats, clear communication, reimbursement, accommodations, and employee training. As my petition states, all plus-size passengers should be provided with an additional seat or 2 or 3 depending on their size and need during a flight for comfort. Under this policy, airlines should also offer a straightforward refund process for those who are buying additional seats independently. Under this policy, employees must be trained to handle sensitive situations and provide appropriate customer service. Sign this petition to demand that airlines take concrete steps towards making air travel more inclusive and accommodating for all passengers. Let's ensure that everybody can fly comfortable without fear of discrimination. Sign my petition now. Link in bio. So you want to hear my hot take on plus-size travel and why I think every plus-size traveler should get a free second and even third seat on an airplane? Then you better keep watching and sign my petition to make some real change. Let's just state facts. Plus-size travelers need more space. And many people agree that plane seats are too small, even for the average size person. As a plus-size traveler myself, I know how uncomfortable and unsafe it can be to squeeze into a tiny airplane seat. We are not asking for special treatment or luxury accommodations. We simply want enough space to travel comfortably and safely without fear of being discriminated against because of our size. It's truly that simple. If you agree that every traveler deserves to fly comfortably and without fear of discrimination, then go ahead and please sign my petition and share it with everybody that you know. Let's work together to make air travel more inclusive and accommodating for everyone.
Let me know your thoughts about this down in the comment section. Do you agree with this lady? So go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. This has struck a big conversation online that people are talking about plus size people on a plane. If you know you're skinny like myself, you know sometimes when a plus size person comes sit with you, let me know what you feel about that. I'm going to let you guys know what I think, but for now, let's just hear other people's thoughts about this petition this plus size woman is signing.
And yet, many airlines still don't have clear policies in place to accommodate plus-size passengers.
Now, I've seen this doing the rounds on this app, on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere, but I wanted to put my 2 cents in. But I will say from the get-go, I'm not going to be fat-shaming this woman or mentioning anything about weight. It's just my 2 cents on the issue. Basically, the only point I want to put across is nothing in this life comes free. I am 6'5", which is nearly 2 meters tall. If I need extra leg room on a plane, I have to pay for it. Like, I've just booked a holiday for next year. I pretty much need a seat with extra leg room, otherwise my knees are going to be at my chin for the entire flight. I've had to pay, not a lot, but I've had to pay more money than a normal person to accommodate the fact that I am as tall as I am. So, but that's out of my pocket. I'm not expecting anyone else to pay for it. So what I'm trying to put across is this woman shouldn't be asking other people to pay for her needs. The world just doesn't work like that. If that happens, it's going to drive up the cost, and people then start moaning that, you know, flights are even more expensive than they already are. So yeah, nothing in this life comes free. If you need something extra, you have to pay for it. It is as simple as that.
All plus-size passengers should be provided with an additional seat or 2 or 3 depending on their size.
We need to talk about this. When I say talk about it, I mean we need to have a conversation without getting feelings involved and actually address the problem at hand. Because I feel like no one can actually talk about it without getting labeled as fatphobic or getting hated on or being whatever it is just because they're trying to have the conversation that we clearly need to have. Now, like I've said a million times before, I'm not hating anyone, but we're talking. I did some research on this creator, and in a couple of videos, she says she is now 600 pounds, meaning she was 3, 4, 5, and now 600 pounds. I didn't see anywhere on her page, I could be wrong, but when I looked, I didn't see anything saying that she was trying to better herself or anything like that. So she's making these choices and getting this size and now demanding airlines give her free things to accommodate her and everyone else who's like that. If this goes through, what about an absolutely packed flight where everyone has purchased a ticket and they can no longer give you 2 to 3 free seats? What about tall people? If they don't get free stuff as well, is that not discrimination on their part? And that's something that you can't choose. This is a huge issue, and I don't think it starts with the airlines. Okay, so let's talk about it.
You know how airplane seats are like super small nowadays?
We all have felt the shrinking of airline seats, and I was recently in the interior of a 1980s Boeing. The lighting in here is horrible, so apologies. I'm just recording this on my phone, and if you follow me, you know I mostly post about baking, science behind tips and tricks. Since I test the science behind a lot of food trends, I thought I would tackle the airline seats. So have airline seats really gotten that much smaller? Starting with the pitch. The pitch is the distance between the 2 seats. Pre-1990s, the average pitch for a standard economy was 33 to 35 inches. I brought my tape measure, and this pitch is 34 inches, so it's in between the standard. Supposedly today the pitches are anywhere from 29 to 33 inches. So this is me sitting in the 1980s plane, and then this is me in a recent flight that I just took. I did not measure the pitch on this Delta plane because we were boarding and I didn't think of it. Again, another before and after. It's not your imagination, the seats have gotten much smaller. Airlines decide the seat size. FAA just requires that it takes 90 seconds for somebody to evacuate their seat, and that's the only requirement that they have.
Did you know that more than 1 billion people in the world are plus size? That's roughly 13% of the population.
She goes on to say that no one should have to endure the embarrassment, the discomfort and the discrimination that plus size people have to endure on airlines. So she wants a clear customer policy in place for plus size passengers. Now let's forget about the term plus size, because we're not talking about someone who's a little bit curvy, are we? We are talking about people who are morbidly obese. Now this video is not just directed at you, I'm talking generally to the whole morbidly obese community that think it's okay to be like that and expect everybody else to accommodate them. No. No. You are morbidly obese purely through your own doing. You put yourself in that position and now you expect everybody else to accommodate you. Now, I don't want to hear, oh, my medication. No, not your medication. You haven't adapted your diet to suit your medication. Oh, but my thyroid. No, not your thyroid. You haven't adapted your diet to suit your thyroid problems. If you are morbidly obese, it's because you eat too much and you do not move enough. End of story. And you put yourself in that position. It didn't just happen overnight. It happened over months, years of you looking in the mirror going, I'm putting on weight here. I'm putting on weight here. Oh God, I need a new pair of jeans. I've put on weight. My waist size has gone up. Again and again and again and again and again. And now you're in a position where you have the arrogance to think that everybody else should do something about it. If there's a family of mum, dad, 4 kids, for example, that want to go on holiday, what if they now can't get a seat? If your policy comes into place where there's more room on aircraft for morbidly obese people, that means there's less room for everybody else who look after themselves or just quite simply don't eat as much. Is that fair? I'd say no. I would say that's discrimination. Why should the people who have done nothing wrong lose out because you want to shove ungodly amounts of food in your cake hole every day? Why should they lose out and maybe have to go on 2 separate flights? If you are morbidly obese, you put yourself in that position and it is your responsibility and only your responsibility to get yourself out of it. And when you're in hospital because your knees are knackered, you've got type 2 diabetes, you've got heart problems and you need to get some toes amputated by the time you're 40, and there are elderly people who are actually unwell or people who have had accidents that weren't their fault that are losing out and having to wait because your lazy, greedy backside is in there due to something that you created yourself. That's discrimination against the people who've done nothing wrong. Don't create a storm and then moan when it rains.
Plus size travel and why I think every plus size traveler should get a free second and even third seat on an airplane.
As someone who used to be obese, no. Just no. If you lived an unhealthy lifestyle to the point where you become large enough to take up 2 or 3 seats on a plane, you pay for those 2 to 3 seats on a plane. I'm sorry, you're wrong. And it just is what it is. You're supposed to take up all these seats so other passengers don't have space on a plane. And I'm sorry, but I definitely fit in a seat normally. And again, I used to be obese. This is definitely some type of entitlement, because no ma'am.
On plus size travel and why I think every plus size traveler should get a free second and even third seat on an airplane.
So, man, look here. This is first world problem stuff. But let me share something with y'all. I'm a signer. I'm with her. You heard me? I'm with her. Not because I'm plus size, because I'm tall. You know what I'm saying? Me being tall, y'all know what it's like when that person in front of you drop that seat back, boom, and that tray hit your knees, boom. And then you got to fly the whole flight like this sideways so you can get your legs through. That's the only reason why I'm signing. I don't want to have to spend no extra money on the first class ticket. I don't want to spend no more extra money on the exit row. I ain't got no money. I spend all my money golfing. All my money is golfing.
Travel and why I think every plus size traveler should get a free second and even third seat on an airplane.
Pure legal perspective, courts have made a distinction between obesity as a lifestyle and obesity because of an underlying disease. And it's an important distinction. If you're overweight because of an underlying disease like thyroid disease, which leads to obesity in some cases, you 100% should be accommodated. But if courts or our government extend these accommodations to obesity because of lifestyle, it would be very, very dangerous. The costs of these accommodations would 100% be pushed onto the consumers. This lady is extremely selfish to make this petition. And America's obesity rate is at like 40% right now. That's just not sustainable. And this is nothing personal, but you have to take economic factors into account when discussing policy.
The reality is, most people who are overweight, it's your fault. You have lifestyle decisions of the calories you eat, how you treat food, how you treat fitness, that has brought you to be that size.
I genuinely cannot stand some of the conversations that are constantly happening around obesity and being healthy. These conversations generally happen the same way. Someone starts talking about their own life experiences as a bigger individual, and some random meathead chimes in about how it's their fault and they need to get in the gym. Hello? If it was that easy, don't you think everyone would have done it by now? Don't you think that there are other factors that come into play when it comes to obesity and unhealthy lifestyles? Why don't we ever talk about genetics or income inequality and poverty? Obesity rates are literally higher in low-income communities because they don't have access to better food options. They don't have access to gyms. They don't have access to so many things that would genuinely help them. But even if they had access to better foods or gyms, what about the fact that everybody's body is different? While it can take me a month to lose 10 pounds, it can take the next person 3 months to lose 10 pounds. And I'm so sick of the people who are like, well, if I can do it, so can you. You meatheads make statements like this and think you've thought of the most logically sound argument ever.
Please go down in the comment section and share your thought down in the comment section, because that's what we do here. We have amazing conversations. So go down in the comment section and share your thought. Love to know what you think, but please, please, please keep it respectful. You don't have to disrespect anybody for you to air your opinion. So let's be respectful down in the comment section. Okay. So here's my thoughts, basically. I need to sit because I know some people may come for me on this, but I'm just going to say what I say and what I believe and my own opinion on this issue, okay? Okay, let's start with a good one. Do I think the airline needs to expand on their seats? Yes, I agree. Because I feel like the seat has gotten smaller from what it used to be back in the days to something really thin that sometimes just for them to have more people on the plane. So I agree with her saying that yes, the plane needs to make their seat a little bit wide, even have more leg room, because sometimes it can be really cranking there if you're having a long flight. I get it, I totally sign for that. But doing it because, but this is where my butt comes in, okay? But doing it because of plus size people, I totally disagree. I feel like being plus size, or like when you talk about people that are tall, like giving leg room and all that, I feel like they don't have control over that. They can limit their height, okay? And I'm not saying plus size people that are plus size due to some illness and some conditions. No, I'm talking about people that are just plus size and they love themselves the way they are. I believe that plus size people should, if you feel you're plus size and you're not comfortable with the seats after the seat has been increased by airline, I feel like then you buy your seats on the airline. I don't think that the airline needs to make a particular incentive for people that are plus size to get a special, like, an additional seat for free, because I feel like if your lifestyle is affecting your money, then you now have to work on it. So if you being plus size as a person is affecting your box, that you have to start booking 2 seats, then you need to ask yourself, is it worth it? And if you feel like it's worth it, you enjoy yourself. I'm not asking anybody to go skinny. You guys know how I feel about the traditional beauty standard. I'm not agreeing it. But when something is inconveniencing you and even affecting your box, and the only person that can really do something about it actively without signing a petition is you, then why not? But if you find it okay, go on. Like, nobody's calling you out. Enjoy your best life, okay? But for me, that is what I think. I feel like no prevention treatment should be given because you're plus size. I'm saying yes, if you're plus, be big and happy, but I don't think any prevention treatment should be given because you are. If you're big and you don't enjoy the seat, you're not comfortable, then buy a plus size. Then buy a seat, an extra seat. And if you know you don't want to buy an extra seat, then maybe you should lose some weight. I said that. I know people are going to come for me on this, but that's my own thought on this. Please go down in the comment section and share your thought down in the comment section. Love to know what you think, but please do it respectful. You don't have to disrespect anybody for you to air your opinion. So let's be respectful down in the comment section. Share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have amazing conversation. So go down in the comment section and share your thought. With that all said, guys, please give the video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because that helps YouTube to push out my content, and that will be you supporting your girl. With that all said, guys, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. See you.